Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, good day. Have I brought my chair outside, or am I fooling you? I don't know how well this works, but I'm inside today. I'm a little quiet because the boys are sleeping. Happy, hippie Saturday. What's my subject du jour? You read the title. I haven't made the title, but you read it. I don't know how you've done that. But it's about fibromyalgia. It's about the weather. Does the weather affect fibro? Or why, when the headache goes, the fog comes in? Yeah. So, here we go. Friends, it's Saturday morning. We have had here in Calgary a couple of days of really cool weather. Yesterday it only got to 9 Celsius. That is less double at 30, 50. That's less than 50. That's less than 50 Fahrenheit. It was a cold and rainy day, 2 of them in a row, and I had a major migraine meltdown over the last couple of days, to the point that Wednesday I spent almost the whole day in bed. It was a rough week. And then the weather changes. I wake up this morning and the headache is gone. I woke up with, maybe the first time in a couple of months, I woke up with zero headache. Zero headache. It seems to maybe be slowly coming back in behind the eyes, but that's more related to the onset of fibro fog. And again, I may have to explain fog a little bit to y'all, to some of you. Some of you are fibro followers. Some of you follow me because of fibro. Fog is the inability to think laterally, to think consistently, to follow a thought through to fruition, to the end, to just think. Everything gets interrupted. It's like ADD in the brain. ADD in the brain, that's silly. That's silly. No. It's an interruption of thought. You can't concentrate. Everything becomes difficult, and following through on anything, even just cooking, becomes a difficult task because you can't really think beyond the moment. It's a really, really bothersome thing with not a lot of study. Nor has there been a lot of study on the effects of weather on fibromyalgia. They say that 80%, I read a couple of surveys, and yes, YouTube, this is only anecdotal evidence. This is not medical advice. This is not medical fact. This is hippie opinion with a little dab of medical knowledge from the things I read, not from the things in here. But I read a couple of surveys. In one survey, 80% of fibromyalgic respondents, men and women, said that their condition is exacerbated by changes in weather. But there's just so very little study. I'll read this. A large internet survey of nearly 2,600 people with fibromyalgia helps shed some light on the relationship. This was a general survey, not one specifically looking for weather-related information. However, when asked what thing appears to make their symptoms worse, 80% of respondents said weather changes. Not only is that a large number, let me read, and it's kind of small, so I'm trying. Not only is that a large number, but it was also the second most reported worsening factor. The top 5 triggers for fibromyalgia pain Emotional distress, 83%. Weather changes, 80%. Sleeping problems, 79%. Strenuous activity, 70%. And I will admit, well, let's go through them all. And mental stress, 68%. I will say for sure, if somebody's putting some emotional stress on me, and being divorced twice, I get that a fair amount, my conditions worsen. Weather, absolutely for sure. Again, anecdotal, but for this guy, for this man, weather changes always affect me, and they affect not just my migraines. I get body changes. I get, when it's really cold, all my hips and everything, but when it's really warm, my shoulders. So sleeping problems, absolutely. When my sleep gets worse, my fog gets worse. Strenuous activity does not seem to hurt me much. Oh, definitely if I do something that I shouldn't do with my shoulders, if I were rowing a boat, I'm going to have pain, but that's just muscle pain from activity. So my fibro does not seem, in fact, I think I keep my fibro under wraps a little bit by doing lots of walking, by keeping busy. So I disagree with that one. And mental stress, well, yeah, mental stress. Think about that. Anytime somebody upsets you and you are under stress, you are under pain. Stress is pain. It's going to exacerbate your fibro. Why do I bring it up? I bring it up for discussion. I bring it up because many of you suffer from odd pains, from difficulty, from fog. Many of you have fibro. Many of you have other conditions. Most of you have some condition, whether it be stress or fibro or chronic fatigue or Crohn's, or there are many of you with many different things that have come here. Because what is this place? This is the hippie community, my friends. This is where we share our pains without having that look that, oh, you're going to talk about that again. That you get from your family. They don't mean it. I'm not putting them down. They don't mean it. But if any of you are related to somebody with chronic pain, please be an ear for them. Please be a comrade, a friend. And I understand there becomes that, oh, here we go again. They're going to talk about their back or their fog or their difficulty in grabbing things, their muscle spasms, all the different things that fibro brings. And you know why we want to talk about it? Because you're a friend. If a fibromyalgic is talking to you about their pain, they're taking something the most difficult in their life and they're sharing it with you, and it may seem like a burden, and it may be a burden, but do we not carry burden for our friends and our family? Do we not try to shed and shield our friends and family from our burdens? So if someone is sharing their burden with you, it should be a rather important moment, even if it happens a lot. There should be friends of chronic pain. There should be some kind of group for y'all to get together and complain about us who complain about us. Interesting thought to ponder on a hippie Saturday. I hope you enjoyed that. Just a weird video inside on my porch. Peace and cheers. Love and harmony.